What Keeper is doing is alerting us to the importance of focusing now and early on issues of mental health so that we do not see deterioration that we surely could have stopped. This is a major issue in our city that you have walked in order to call attention to this issue means so very much to me. We are about to open the appropriations period on Monday as Congress reconvenes after 2 weeks. We will be going fast and earnest, and there will be a big difference in the Congress this time. Most of what I have had to do for the District of Columbia, I've had to do in a Republican Congress. Well, the Democrats have taken over the House of Representatives. And I'm going to see that that makes a difference for people who are struggling with mental illness, with homelessness, with issues that have been neglected by the Republicans. Now, I recognize that we have Republicans still in charge of the Senate. God help us. But the fact is that I learned long ago during the appropriation period to find Republicans whom I could deal with in the Senate. So I ain't no ways afraid that we haven't yet taken over the Senate. In fact, I'm very encouraged by the large margin that Democrats took over the House and by what we will be able to do with the issues that have been neglected, none more so than mental illness and homelessness. What you have done, you have done right on time, I must say, not only because spring has come, but because the appropriation period has come. It will remind us of where the need is. It will remind us of who is important but neglected in our city and in our country. It will remind us that the Affordable Care Act is an across-the-board act that deals with everything that affects a human being, including mental illness. It will remind us that mental illness and homelessness could come to any of us. And on this very wonderful spring day, I can only thank you for taking time for what you could be doing.
Right.
To come out here and raise the consciousness on this very important issue. I know that very soon I will be talking not only to residents of the District of Columbia, but to American citizens who live in the 51st state of the United States of America. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Guys, thank Congresswoman Norton one more time for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congresswoman Norton does have another affair. However, if we could get our divas to come forward that are going to provide our testimonies, we're going to keep them short. The whole idea is to help the Congresswoman understand the work that we're willing to do on ourselves and the work that we know that we can continue to do with the right resources and help in the community. So, Ms. Hightower, I believe that you're going to come forward. Ms. Monique Smith, I believe you were willing to come forward. I believe Ms. Borges was going to come forward. Come on. And then I also would like Mr. Dominique Ampry. And if we can keep our remarks to a 3-minute window, that'd be perfect. We just want to keep it short and sweet and help the Congresswoman understand that her efforts are not in vain as she goes to fight for statehood and additional funding for the mental health. And as you heard her mention, the Affordable Care Act. And we also want to make it clear that not only are we out here today to raise the awareness, we're out here today to raise the understanding of accountability. We want to be able to have these dialogues, but also we want follow-up and feedback. And we'd love for you guys to keep following our movement. Without any further ado, with Diva, our divas in the community are our divinely inspirational, virtuous, anointed women who are helping to keep the communities nurtured, safe, and helping to get them back on track. What we understand from My Mother's Keepers perspective and research is that when we can help to keep the women in the community whole, then we've got a shot at helping to keep our families stable and healthy, and we've got to do something about this violence, and we can all be a part of the solution. It's not just about getting our elected officials down to answer questions for us. It's about us being able to answer questions for them in our behaviors and our voting habits and in our educations of the issues, so that we can help push the very important matters such as the one we're here today about. So guys, without any further ado, I'd like to invite our diva, Sharamia Hightower, who's coming forward to share her testimony and why it's important for her to be here today. Khadija, if you want to share, come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
First of all, thank you, Ms. Norton, for coming out here to a very important event, a proclamation in reference to mental health. I started as a property manager, and I worked in Ward 8. And so with Ward 8, we understood that there were a lot of traumatic experiences that was happening to a lot of our children. And those things didn't happen just outside, they were happening inside. And so with me being a property manager, I dealt with day-to-day experiences with every resident. Everyone from the homeless shelter, from the molestation cases in the home. And my job was to find out how can I help turn around a community that was under a black cloud. I initially started at what you know as Butler Gardens, but now it's Cedar Heights. And when we did Cedar Heights,